Welcome back to the Explainer, Focus Learners. Let's just jump right into it today, because we've got a really fascinating deep dive lined up. We're looking into something the source material calls the nighttime skincare mystery. So picture this. You're standing in front of your bathroom mirror first thing in the morning. You're still a little groggy, you look at your reflection, and boom, there is a brand new breakout right on your cheek. Or maybe you're running a brush through your hair and you see this cluster of broken strands, and you just think to yourself, wait, how? I literally did my perfect nighttime routine before bed. I mean, it's so frustrating, right? You do the cleansing, the toning, you apply your expensive hair treatments, and yet the morning mirror tells a totally different story. There's actually a really great story in our source text about a guy named Rohan that perfectly captures this exact feeling. Rohan is a busy professional, and on paper, he's doing everything right. Good products, clean diet, keeps his stress in check. Now imagine someone else doing the exact same routine as Rohan. That person is getting amazing results, glowing skin, super strong hair. But Rohan, he's getting these stubborn breakouts on his cheeks and noticing his hair is getting super fragile. Same exact inputs, drastically different outputs. It drove him crazy. He actually reached a breaking point and asked his dermatologist, is there something I'm completely ignoring here? And he had tried everything. He switched up his products, tweaked his meals, tried meditation, but nothing was working consistently. And you know why? Because the culprit wasn't inside his body, and it wasn't hiding in his product cabinet. It was this totally invisible variable hiding in plain sight.
Okay, I want you to hear this number, 2,500 plus. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the massive number of hours your face spends pressed against a single surface every single year. We spend about a third of our lives sleeping, right? So your face is literally spending way more time in direct contact with this one surface than it does with any of those high-end serums you're buying.
Which brings us to the big reveal. The hidden culprit in this whole mystery, it's your pillow cover. Yeah, no joke. That completely innocent-looking fabric on your bed is quietly sabotaging your overnight recovery. While you're fast asleep, thinking you're giving your body a chance to repair, your pillowcase is acting like a silent disruptor. It's actually triggering what the experts in our source material call pillowcase acne and pillow cover hair fall. The science behind this is absolutely fascinating. Dr. Ananya, a dermatologist quoted in the text, puts it perfectly. She says, your skin heals at night, but only when the surface it rests on allows proper recovery without irritation or contamination. Your body wants to go into natural repair mode while you sleep, but if that surface you're resting on is compromised, it completely blocks that recovery process. And the crazy part is how fast it happens. 3 to 4 nights. That's it. That is all it takes for a freshly washed pillowcase to turn into this massive collection ground. We are talking a nasty mix of sweat, natural body oils, dead skin cells, whatever hair products you use that day, plus just regular environmental dust. All of that builds up in less than half a week. So what happens is, this creates a continuous loop of damage. A clean sleeping environment lets your skin breathe, it recovers. But a pillow loaded with buildup does the exact opposite. Every single time you toss and turn in your sleep, that bacteria and oil just transfers right back onto your skin. It literally defeats the entire purpose of washing your face before bed, leaving you with clogged pores and super dull skin the next day. But wait, it's not just the bacteria. We also have to talk about physics, specifically friction. You know, the resistance one surface encounters when it moves over another. Every night, as you shift around, your hair rubs against your pillow cover. If that fabric is a bit rough, or if it's heavy with all that buildup we just talked about, it starts acting like fine sandpaper. Night after night, it gradually weakens your hair cuticle, and that is exactly what leads to all that breakage, the tangles, and the crazy frizz. And honestly, if that wasn't bad enough, here is a super painful truth for anyone who spends good money on skincare. Your pillow is basically drinking your expensive routine. Standard cotton fabrics are incredibly absorbent. They act just like a sponge, siphoning away your skin's natural moisture, its oils, and yes, those very expensive night creams right off your face. Think about all those powerhouse ingredients, things like salicylic and glycolic acid that you use for exfoliation, niacinamide to build up your skin barrier, hyaluronic acid for that deep hydration. You carefully apply these hoping for smoother, clearer skin, but if your pillow is just drinking them up, or if friction is just wiping them off, all those vital ingredients are being wasted on your bedding instead of actually working on your face. Which leads us to this really brilliant insight from the experts we're analyzing today.
They note that consistency and a clean sleeping environment completely beat intensity when it comes to long-term care. You could literally have the most intense, highly concentrated, expensive skincare routine in the entire world. But it means absolutely zero if you apply it and then immediately mash your face into a contaminated surface for 8 solid hours. Okay, deep breath. Don't panic. We're not just going to leave you with a new fear of your own bed. Let's pivot from the problem to the fix. And honestly, the best part of today's explainer is that solving this doesn't mean buying more stuff. It's really just about building some simple, expert-backed sleep hygiene habits. Let's break down the pro tips. Pro tip number 1, contamination spikes way faster than you think. Around day 2, the bacteria and oil levels are still pretty low. But by day 10, you are in a high-risk zone for your pores. So, experts highly recommend washing your pillow covers every 5 to 7 days. Even better, keep a few extras around and actually swap the cover for a fresh one every 2 to 3 days. That keeps the friction and the bacteria transfer as low as humanly possible. And here is the payoff. Once you've actually fixed that environment and your sleep surface is clean, your products get to do what you paid for. The source text specifically highlights that pairing clean bedding with deeply nourishing nighttime skincare, like Timb's Shea Body Butter, for example, means those high-quality ingredients can finally absorb properly, support your skin barrier, and do their overnight magic totally unhindered. All right, moving on to pro tip number 2. And if you are a night showerer, listen up, because this is huge for hair fall. Sleeping with wet or even slightly damp hair is a total recipe for disaster. Damp hair drastically increases that friction we talked about, making your individual strands so much weaker when you move around. Plus, a damp, warm pillow, that is literally the perfect breeding ground for acne-causing bacteria. Now, obviously, you can't stop moving in your sleep. Some mechanical friction is just unavoidable. So the experts say you've got to build up your hair's resilience using fortifying products. The text mentions Timb's protein shampoo as an example, can dramatically improve your hair's strength over time. It basically gives your strands the daily armor they need to survive all that tossing and turning. Okay, pro tip number 3 revolves around a magic window of time, 20 to 30 minutes. If you do your whole skincare routine and immediately face plant onto your pillow, your fabric is getting all the benefits, not your skin. You absolutely have to give your skincare at least 20 to 30 minutes to properly sink in and absorb before you get into bed. So let's just pull all these solutions together into one really simple, actionable protocol you can literally start using tonight. Step 1, fix your pillow cover situation by changing it every 2 to 3 days. Step 2, make sure your hair is 100% dry before your head hits the pillow. And step 3, give your skin that crucial 20 to 30 minute buffer time after your routine. It's simple, it's fast, and it works. Oh, and just a quick bonus tip pulled straight from the source text, you might want to look at the fabric itself. Upgrading your pillow cover to smoother materials can really be a game changer. It drastically cuts down on the mechanical friction that causes hair breakage. And smoother fabrics usually have lower absorption rates, meaning they won't steal your skincare. Your hair just glides over it instead of catching. Let's bring this whole everyday mystery full circle. We can finally solve Rohan's paradox. Remember, why do 2 people with the exact same routine get completely different results? Well, it's simple. A great routine combined with a dirty, high-friction pillow equals 0 progress. But take that exact same routine and pair it with a clean, low-friction environment. That is what gets you the great results you've been working for. So, if you take absolutely nothing else away from today's explainer, let it be this. Real improvement is almost never about adding a 12th step to your routine or dropping cash on another miracle serum. It's all about perfecting your environment. Your skincare and your hair care routines are in this delicate, constant partnership with your sleep hygiene. Which leaves us with one final, pretty important question for you to chew on as we wrap things up today. What is your pillow cover currently hiding, and are you ready to go change it tonight? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, Focus Learners. Take a real close look at your bedding tonight, and here's to finally waking up with the skin and hair you actually deserve. See you next time.